Can you believe it's already been a month? So I'm here to talk about Thomas's week 3 and 4 update, where I'll be going over how breastfeeding, how health and development, and his temperament are doing, as well as I'll be going over how I am doing postpartum. So let's start off with breastfeeding. So I have been exclusively breastfeeding Thomas and hoping to be introducing the bottle now to him. So I tried pumping, and for the first 2 days I wasn't getting anything. I got like maybe half an ounce between the 2 days, and it was really frustrating, and it made me a little scared that maybe I wasn't feeding him enough because he was cluster feeding and was always hungry. And so I began to doubt whether or not he was getting enough food. Luckily, I had already booked a doctor's appointment or an appointment at a breastfeeding clinic. And so they actually had a support group every other Friday. And so I booked to be part of their support group. And I say to anyone who is breastfeeding or trying to breastfeed or would like to having problems breastfeeding and would like help with it, to talk to your doctor and to see what resources there are out there, because there are doctors, at least in my city, there are multiple places where we can go where there are doctors who specialize in just breastfeeding. And so I went to the support clinic at the end of week 3 and went over all his history, how much he weighed when he went to his first doctor's appointment at 10 days, and then they weighed him there at the beginning. And so when they weighed him, he was 9 pounds and 10 ounces. And so the doctor quickly did the math, and it turns out he's gaining, based on that, about 44 grams a day, which is insane, because an average baby gains between usually 15 to 30 grams. So this was the first thing that basically helped me reassure me that he was getting enough food. Was if he's gaining 44 grams a day, it's because I am producing enough for him to be able to gain. And now when I've told friends that, I've had a few friends who were concerned. They're like, well, does this mean that he's eating too much and that you need to cut back? And no, it is impossible for a baby to basically overeat at this age. And if they do, they're going to spit it right back up. As the doctor put it, her philosophy is you respect the child. If they are hungry, you feed them. If they are not, you don't. You stop. Because I was also a little concerned because while he was cluster feeding like crazy, he would only ever do one boob at a time. Come the second boob, he would be uninterested. And so I was a little concerned. And she was like, nope, that's perfectly fine. Again, her philosophy, respect the child, which aligns with everything I know and believe. And so I don't need to worry if he doesn't want to take the second boob. I just have to keep offering the second boob. So that was really encouraging. And then the second thing she wanted to know about to confirm was how his diapers were. And I'm going through currently about 12 to 15 diapers a day. And so that's a lot. And he has about like 4 really big poops every day with like half a dozen small poops. And so she was really happy with his diaper output as well. And so this told her that yes, I'm able to produce enough and that I am feeding him and he is getting what he needs from me. And that cluster feeding at this stage is just really normal and extremely normal. So then I brought up pumping while I was at the support group because while I love breastfeeding him and it's a great way of bonding with him and I enjoy it, at the same time, it would be nice if I wasn't the only way that he could get fed. And so I would like to pump and be able to have my husband be able to give him a bottle in the evenings when he's home. But I wasn't able to get much. So the doctor told me, and I found this interesting, that most women produce the most milk between 12 a.m. and 10 a.m. and suggested that I try pumping first thing in the morning. So I decided to wait that weekend and to try first thing Monday morning when Richard left for work. So about 7 a.m. I pumped and I was ecstatic. I got about 2.5 ounces of milk. It was amazing. I felt so great and was just so excited. And then I pumped some more before 10 and had almost a 5-ounce bottle ready to go for that evening, which was fantastic. So that night I got the bottle all heated up and we decided to use the Mandela bottle and its nipple that came with our pumping set. So I was given the 2-pump Mandela set at my baby shower from my mom and my sister. And so its nipple is unique because you don't change its nipple size at different ages. It's just one nipple for the whole time, because the idea behind it is that it acts like a breast, and that it is shaped weirdly because it is like how your breast will work. And so the idea is that your breasts don't change as they grow older and change their flow size. It's the same flow the entire way. Oh, one sec. Sorry, buddy. Here we go. It's just one size the entire time. So the nipple's the same way. And so it deals with how they suck. And so they have to work for it and suck and get everything out of it. So this made sense to me because it was also supposed to help so that there was less nipple confusion. And so this is the one we decided to start with. I had Munchkin ones as well. Munchkin latch bottles as well, just in case, as backups, and because I knew we'd need more bottles in the future. But we thought we would start with the Mandela one. So we gave it to him, and he was able to latch on right away, no problem, which was great, I thought. But then he was crying and upset, which I think is normal because it's different. But then he just got really, really angry and really upset. And after like a half hour, we took the bottle away, and he had not even 10 mils from the bottle. That was all he was able to get. Sorry about that. Had to do a diaper change. All part of being a mom. So anyways, like I was saying, the Mandela, with the Mandela nipple, he was sucking and was getting nowhere. And so it reminded me of what was told at the breastfeeding support group, where we were talking about how everyone has different flows. No same mom will have the same flows. Some have faster, some have slower. And so I obviously think that the Mandela has a much slower flow than what I have. And so it's obviously easier for him to get milk from me than it was from there. Oh, we're getting tired. So we waited a couple days, and then we tried again with the Munchkin latch bottles. And he had a hard time latching on to these bottles. Once he latched on, he was able to get milk. He actually drank 1 full ounce from there. And so we're just going to continue working from there, hoping to try and give a bottle every night that we can. Yeah, I know. Trying to give a bottle every night as we can, working up to a full feed. You're supposed to, they say, have about 3 ounces from a bottle at about this age, but considering how much he likes to eat, I wouldn't be surprised if he did 4 or 5 ounces in one feed sitting. So that's what we're working on currently. I know. Sorry about that, fussy baby. So I believe we were on health and development. So on the Friday I had the breastfeeding clinic. The following Tuesday we had an early 1 month follow-up. So I took him in. And so on the Friday when I weighed him at the breastfeeding clinic, he was 9 pounds, 10 ounces. When we got to the doctor's appointment on Tuesday, he was 10 pounds, 7 ounces. It was insane. He gained just about a pound in 4 days. It was crazy. But makes sense as to why he was cluster feeding the entire weekend. I was up like almost every hour feeding him, and so makes sense. He gained like a pound in 4 days. That's like unbelievable. But the doctors were really happy with how he was developing, how much he had grown, his diapers, and his reflexes and everything. So that was great. So next time we are done, because we were going through Mosaic Clinic, because they deal with just pregnancies, and then they do the follow-up in the first month after, and then I go back to my family doctor. So he'll have his 2-month checkup with our family doctor, and we'll also get our vaccines done when he's 2 months as well. So that went really well. And then in my last video, I had told you that we had called the hotline, health hotline here, just because his belly button had been getting full of crusty blood and everything, and so I was concerned with how long it was taking for it to heal. And so they had suggested that we just let it air out over the next a 48-hour period, and that if after that, if it was still getting full of crusty blood, to call back, and then they would see about whether or not we needed to go in to get it checked. Luckily, I never had to call them back because it cleared up. Yay! Made me so happy, which means we have moved on and we are no longer using disposable diapers and we're now using cloth diapers, which I love. I'm glad that we now get to use them, and I think they are just adorable. They're just so cute and I love them, and it's fantastic. So I'm really, really happy about that. So he has, though, developed some baby acne, which is really normal. Babies who are breastfed have a higher tendency of getting baby acne, and it's because all these hormones that are in my body that are trying to figure themselves out go into my breast milk, which gets to him, and so he gets baby acne because of it, and that's completely normal and not something to worry about at this age, and it's not something that you need to worry about trying to fix either with lotion or all these different things. It will go away on its own around usually 6 weeks when your body's hormones re-regulate themselves. So I'll have acne for a few weeks. Sucky, but completely normal. Besides that, how has he been developing? He's been doing really well. And he is just starting now his at week 4. Yeah. Sorry. Baby brain. He is starting his first mental leap, which is really cool. And so after he goes through this mental leap, he will be able to look at things for longer periods of time. He will respond to touch differently. He'll be able to begin to social smile. I so look forward to actually having social smiles from him. And he will respond to orders more clearly, as well as he's going to have more awake moments and be more busy during his awake moments. So it's pretty cool. And how I know that he's at the beginning stages of his first mental leap is what I'm going to go over in his temperament. So on to temperament. So for week 3, he was fussy because he was going through a growth spurt. And I just couldn't believe just how hungry, and that he was always so hungry. I mean, I would feed him, burp him, change him, and then it would seem within like 10 minutes he was crying again, and I'd be checking his diaper, checking all these things, and it would just be, he was hungry. And so he was very fussy, and it seemed to calm down in week 4. And I'm not sure if it's just because I came to the conclusion that he was, again, always hungry, and he's been going through this growth spurt. And so one, I go to feeding him first. 2, I think I understand his cues now a lot better of when he's hungry versus when he wants his diaper changed and that. So I think that helped. But then partway through week 4, his fussiness returned, and it wasn't linked to him being hungry. It's linked to the fact that he is starting to go through his first mental leap. And how I know this is because he wants to be held constantly. He doesn't want to be put down. He wants to sleep on me. He wants to be with me pretty much at all times, which, makes getting anything done a little difficult. But that is perfectly normal and part of going through this first leap. So other signs of going through the first leap can be cries. When there's nothing normal to cry about, there's like no diaper needs to be changed, doesn't need to be fed, and he's not tired. Only quiet when he is with you, and wants to be breastfed more often, which I don't know if that's humanly possible currently with him. But these are all signs of him going through the first leap, and when he gets to the other side, he'll be able to do the things that I had mentioned before, like social smiles and having more awake and busy times, which will be great because then you can do more things with him. I can't wait for that. So I look forward to getting to the other side of the sleep. I know it's temporary. I won't always have such a fussy baby, and I mean, I still feel like he's pretty chill. He just wants to be held more, which is normal at this stage. So how am I doing postpartum? I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I feel like I have leveled out now. Like the first week after pregnancy, I was like chipper and peppy, which is really weird. I mean, I don't know. I know I can be chipper and peppy, but I feel like I was overly chipper and peppy during that time. And then following, I started to have some baby blues and crying for no reason in that. But for the last 2 weeks, for week 3 and 4, I haven't had baby blues. I've been feeling pretty good and pretty like leveled back out. So that is nice. Although I will say I am a little cranky. I think that's though because of this, I'm kind of not getting any sleep, a bit of sleep deprivation. My body's not used to this lack of sleep and having to get up every hour to feed. But again, very normal. Also on a good note, it seems my night sweats have started to tone themselves down. They're becoming less. I'm no longer waking up and finding that my side of the bed is soaked. I'm waking up and just feeling slightly sweaty, and so I'm looking forward to those being gone because those were just weird and disgusting and ugh. But I have developed losing a bit of hair, which again is a normal part of postpartum. With all these hormones in your body trying to figure themselves out, hair loss is a very normal thing. I'm not losing much. I'm just finding strands of hair everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And it seems now that anytime Thomas grabs onto my hair, just a handful of strands come with him. So slightly annoying, but normal part of postpartum. Besides that, I am, like I said, feeling really good. And when I went to the doctor's for his 1-month checkup, the doctor did clear me to have sex again. Maybe too much information, but I'm so happy that as long as I go slow and I feel comfortable with it, I am good to go. Yes, I'm just glad that that's back on the table. So thank you so much for joining me for our week 3 and 4 update. From here on out, I will only be doing monthly updates on Thomas and I, but I will be having other videos. I have some on skin to skin and its importance, cloth diapers, why they're important to us, tummy time for newborns, so stay tuned and I will have those videos coming up shortly. And